getting our names put on the appropriate pieces of property.
Just when we're trying to figure out everything with the way that the property was divided.
I think the issue was...
How do you feel about seeing Robyn after just everything?
Well, our last interaction was really weird.
Yeah.
You know, just when we're trying to figure out...
there was a lot of conversation surrounding that, and I don't know why it couldn't just be signed on.
Sister Wives shocker. Meri exposes Robyn's secret land schemes, the weird confrontation that changed everything. How do you feel about seeing Robyn after, well, everything? Meri doesn't hesitate. Her voice is steady, but the sting is unmistakable. Our last interaction was really strange. The whole conversation about dividing the property turned into something it never should have been. We were just trying to get everyone's names on the correct plot simple, right? But somehow it turned into a massive ordeal. I still don't understand why we couldn't just sign the papers and move on. And that is where the drama detonates. The episode everyone wanted to skip until the real story emerged. Welcome back to the channel. And if you watched last night's episode, hopefully you hit fast forward on those first painfully awkward 6 minutes where TLC forced us to watch Cody and Robyn kiss like 16-year-olds sneaking around behind the bleachers. Apparently, Cody shaved his mustache because Princess Robyn didn't want to kiss Prickles. And now suddenly, after 9 episodes of Robyn pretending she's repulsed by her husband, she's climbing all over him like it's senior prom. Literally, no one cares because the real story, the explosive storyline, the jaw-dropping reveal, was Meri and her roommate Amber sitting down and unpacking the massive blowout fight she had with Cody. Plus, the series of bizarre conversations she had with both Cody and Robyn about the land. And trust me, those talks were even stranger than you remember. Meri calls the last property discussion weird, and she meant IT as Meri recounts the past. Her voice carries that tone we've all learned to recognize: exhausted, fed up, absolutely done. She remembers sitting at Coyote Pass with Cody and Robyn, the infamous breakup scene. You remember it, the picnic table, the tension thick enough to slice with a trowel. That's when Cody and Robyn, with a straight face, told Meri, "You get 2 acres." Meanwhile, Cody, "For acres Robyn, for acres Janelle, for acres Meri," to her eyebrows practically flew off her face. The ridiculous breakdown. For +4 for them, 4 for Janelle, and 2 for Meri. Meri's reaction was iconic. Hold up, why is everyone getting 4 acres and I'm getting 2? How does that math make sense? And then Robyn in full royal mode starts going on about, my estate, my estate. Girl, your estate is literally Cody's estate. You don't have a separate kingdom. You are the legal wife, that's it. But Robyn wasn't budging. She was perfectly fine with her and Cody claiming over half the available land. And Cody? He justified it with the now infamous line, Meri only has 1 child. I have 18. I need more land for my family. Absolute insanity. Robyn and Cody's real motives exposed. Here's the kicker. This 2 acres nonsense wasn't a one-time conversation. According to Meri, similar discussions kept happening behind closed doors. And every single time, Robyn backed Cody. Robyn supported the split. Robyn rationalized why she and her husband deserved 8 acres together. So now Robyn's poor me storyline on the show where she acts like she just wants fairness is complete fiction. Behind the scenes, she was absolutely fine watching Meri get steamrolled. Cut to the present and the fight that blew everything open. According to Meri, one recent discussion over the property turned extremely tense. She tried to stand her ground. She refused to be bulldozed. And guess who didn't like that? Robyn. Meri says it flat out, I stood my ground. She didn't like it, but whatever. Translation. Robyn expected the old Meri timid, apologetic, quiet. Instead, she got the new Meri confident, independent, done. A big fat fairy tale. Then TLC cuts to Robyn trying to spin her own narrative. Meri and I have always been able to talk honestly. I just wanted what was best for her. My intentions were always pure. Stop. 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 Because in the footage from that Coyote Pass conversation, Meri is literally confronting both Robyn and Cody about the land theft. And Cody responds with, Meri doesn't want to share resources. Meri has only 1 child. I have 18 children who need the land. This after Meri had told them she didn't even plan to build there. But Kody needed her name off the property, and Robyn didn't object once. Meri's truth bomb. We don't have trust anymore. Meri says it plainly now. She does not trust Robyn. At all. She doesn't want to see her. She doesn't want to pretend. She doesn't want to rebuild a friendship rooted in manipulation and favoritism. If Robyn and I were ever to be friends again, it would have to start from scratch. She's loyal to Kody as she should be. I'm not. That's the difference. A truth so raw, so direct, even Robyn couldn't spin it with tears. Meri knows Robyn was never on her side. Robyn tries to convince the audience she was there to help Meri. But anyone who has watched this family for more than 5 minutes knows. Robyn supports whatever benefits Robyn. Kody supports whatever benefits Robyn. Meri was always disposable. The land was always going to end up in Robyn's favor. And when Meri finally decided to leave the family, suddenly Kody's like, don't you want to build here, Meri? You could have 2 acres. No, Kody. They didn't want Meri to walk away because then they'd have to pay her out. This isn't family planning. It's property chess. And Robyn was quietly moving the pieces the whole time. The truth behind the weird meeting, that final interaction between them, the one Meri calls weird, wasn't random. It was Meri finally seeing the full picture. Robyn wasn't clueless. She wasn't innocent. She wasn't trying to help. She was deeply involved. And the moment Meri stopped being compliant, Robyn's mask cracked. Meri exposes Robyn's manipulation, Kody's rage, and the secret phone fight that cameras never caught. Meri wasn't just going to accept 2 acres and quietly disappear. She was ready for a fight, and she should have, considering the hostile way Robyn behaved during those property discussions. Robyn wasn't sweet. She wasn't neutral. She wasn't the confused peacemaker she pretends to be on TV. She was belligerent, emotional, snot dripping down her face, crying hysterically and making everything about her estate, not Meri's rights, not fairness, not what was best for the group. And while she melted down, Kody backed her fully, acting like Meri deserved crumbs because she had less kids, while he supposedly had 18 children who were all going to spend their future splashing around in a dirt pond on Coyote Pass. The agenda was obvious then. It's obvious now. Cody and Robyn were prepared to screw Meri over without blinking. I'm done. Talk to my lawyer. Meri finally snaps. Meri lays out the truth with a calmness that's scarier than yelling. There is no trust between me and Robyn. None. I'm done. I'm not dealing with this anymore. At the end of that conversation, I said, I'm not your wife. I don't have to take this. I'm done. Talk to my lawyer. And I haven't spoken to him since. That wasn't a dramatic threat. That was a line in the sand. But that wasn't even the worst confrontation. The secret phone call. Kody unleashes a rage attack. OFF camera. We all saw part of the tension during the Zoom call with Janelle, Meri, and Kody discussing the land offer. But according to Meri, afterward Kody called her and screamed at her, full meltdown mode, over the property issue. And then he started attacking her friend Jen for absolutely no reason. This is the Kody that doesn't show up on camera. This is the Kody Meri hinted about during her interview on the Tamron Hall show. She warned viewers that the season would reveal what had been happening behind the scenes, especially with Robyn, and that Kody had not been kind leading up to her final decision to walk away. She meant this phone call. She meant this behavior. She meant this version of him. Kody's real problem? Money. Always money. Kody wasn't yelling because he was hurt. He wasn't yelling because he was confused. He wasn't yelling because he was trying to fix the family. He was yelling because he wanted control of the land, control of the money, control of the narrative. He is accustomed to yelling his wives into submission. It worked on them for years, until it didn't, because Meri stopped tolerating it, and Jen wasn't backing down. And that's why Kody suddenly has a problem with Jen. Kody's ridiculous tantrum, blaming Jen for Meri finally leaving in his confessional. Kody tries to paint Jen as some kind of evil mastermind. It's hard not to see Jen as a nemesis. I think she encouraged Meri to leave. Back in Vegas, she even told Janelle that Meri should empty our bank account and run away. This man who divorced Meri, married Robyn, ignored Meri for nearly a decade, refused to visit her home, and openly said he didn't consider them married anymore. Now wants to act like Jen, not his neglect, not his favoritism, not his emotional abandonment is the reason Meri left? Give me a break. Let's break down his logic. He didn't sleep at Meri's house for 8 years. He publicly disowned their relationship. He said he wasn't attracted to her. He refused counseling. He built a life with Robyn. He cut Meri out long before she left. But now suddenly Jen is the villain? Absolutely delusional. The Las Vegas bank account lie, Kody says. Jen told Meri to empty our bank account and leave. This is where the lie becomes laughable. At that time, Meri and Kody were legally married. They lived as husband and wife. They shared bank accounts. They had community property. They handled finances jointly like any married couple. So even if Jen did say, take the money and go, it was literally Meri's money too. There was no stealing. There was no betrayal. There was no conspiracy. Kody wants to pretend the past rules of their marriage don't apply when it's inconvenient for him. The real reason Kody hates Jen. SHE won't let him control Meri. Jen gives Meri emotional support, clarity, a reality check, encouragement to stand up for herself that makes her dangerous to Kody. Because Kody only functions when the women let him dominate the narrative. When they break away like Christine did, like Janelle did, like Meri did, he becomes vindictive. And Jen? She's the one person in Meri's life he can't intimidate. So he lashes out. Robyn's role and why Meri will never trust her again. Robyn watched Kody disrespect Meri for years. Robyn participated in the land schemes. Robyn pushed the Meri doesn't deserve as much narrative. Robyn sided with Kody every single time. And now she wants to pretend she was concerned for Meri's best interests? Absolutely not. Robyn's loyalty is to Kody, not truth, not fairness, not sisterhood. And Meri finally sees it clearly. Meri's final stand, now when Kody acts like Meri was ever a threat to empty the bank account, it's laughable. That never happened. Not even close. And if Jen supposedly told her to leave him in Vegas, why did it take Meri 10 more years to finally walk away? Exactly. The whole accusation is nonsense. Especially because Kody didn't want Meri anyway. He made that clear the second he divorced her and married Robyn. The real reason Kody hates Jen. She sees through him. Let's be honest, the only reason Kody can't stand Jen is because she's the one person who refuses to play along with his delusions. Jen doesn't fall for his manipulation. Jen doesn't buy into his victim narrative. Jen calls out the patterns. Jen sees exactly how he treats Meri. Even if you don't always love the snarky banter between Jen and Meri, you can't deny one thing. Jen holds up a mirror to Kody's behavior and he can't stand it. She tells the truth he doesn't want to hear. She exposes the reality he tries to hide. She gives Meri the backbone Kody spent years breaking down. Any friend would do the same if they saw someone being emotionally neglected, verbally belittled, psychologically manipulated, financially controlled, spiritually cornered inside a collapsing religious system, especially if that friend grew up in a high control group where leaving isn't even considered an option. Jen wasn't an enemy. She was a lifeline. And by the way, the bank accounts were never emptied. Kody is weaponizing a hypothetical scenario that didn't happen, never came close to happening, and is now being used to deflect blame. Even worse, he drags Janelle into it, twisting her words into a game of broken telephone. Janelle says Jen said something. Kody says Janelle told him Jen said something. Now Kody acts like Jen actually did something she never did. Call it double hearsay, triple hearsay. It's nonsense. What Kody fears most? Meri having support. Kody isn't threatened by Jen because she's mean. He's threatened because she gave Meri perspective. Jen showed Meri there was a world outside Kody Brown. She gave Meri courage, solidarity, humor, a sense of independence. She was the one voice telling her, you don't have to accept mistreatment. You can choose differently. That's why Kody hates her. She breaks the spell. The property deception. Kody admits a backdoor deal, then Kody drops the bombshell. After accepting an offer on the land, Janelle was terrified of losing the buyer. So she pushed Kody to either comply with Meri's conditions or force the sale. And what does Kody say? I almost made a backdoor deal with Janelle. We just sell it out from under the other two. Wait, what? And then Robyn, the same woman who claims she never wanted to mess anyone over, jumps in with, no, we're not doing that. Meanwhile, Kody's whispering, maybe we should mess them over. So tell me again who's fair? Who's ethical? Who's trying to do the right thing? Because it certainly isn't Kody. Janelle even says flat out, he could sell it without Meri's consent. And technically he could have, because Meri held so little stake at the time. But then the real twist hits. Meri wasn't holding up anything. She wasn't preventing signatures. She wasn't delaying paperwork. It was Robyn. The signature timeline that destroys Kody's narrative. Here's the actual timeline based on the documented property transfers. Parcel 1. The shared lot with Kody, Meri, Janelle signs. January 9th, Meri signs. January 15th, Kody signs. January 17th, all 3 signatures filed. No hesitation. No dilas. No drama. Parcel 2. The transfer involving Robyn Janelle signs. January Kody signs. January 17th, but it isn't recorded until March. Why? Because Robyn didn't sign until March 26, 2025. She was the last one. She was the holdup. She was the delay. Not Meri. Not Janelle. Robyn. The woman who has spent an entire season crying about everyone delaying the property transfer was the only person actually delaying the property transfer. The biggest lie of all. Meri had no legal power to hold anything up despite the way Kody spins it. Meri's legal status on the land at that point barely existed. She had no say in the parcel belonging to Kody and Janelle, the parcel belonging to Kody and Robyn, the parcels being combined or split the transfer agreements between the other wives. Her only signature was required on the one parcel she actually shared. Everything else? Completely outside her authority. She legally couldn't stall anything even if she tried. The paperwork makes it clear. The only person who delayed signing anything was Robyn Brown. But Kody blames Meri. Because blaming Meri is easier than admitting the truth. Robyn was the bottleneck. Robyn stalled the transfer. Robyn held the power. Robyn made them wait months. And Kody covered for her. Robyn's secret signature holdout exposed the power play, the NDA threat, and the manipulation behind the land sale. Here's the truth that TLC didn't spell out clearly. The land sale could not move forward at all until Robyn signed. Not Janelle. Not Meri. Not Kody. Robyn. Robyn was the only wife legally listed across every parcel, and she refused to notarize her documents until March 26th. The sale couldn't be recorded, the deeds couldn't be processed, and the entire deal remained frozen because she held the final signature. And during this entire period, Kody and Robyn weren't communicating with Meri directly. They were going through lawyers, because that's how toxic and fractured the relationship had become. Yet on camera, they spin a completely different story, one where Meri is somehow the problem. But the timeline proves the opposite. The only person who stalled the transaction was Robyn Brown. The power play. Using Robyn's signature as leverage against Meri. If Robyn actually cared about fairness and equity, she would have signed on January 17th when Kody did. She didn't. She waited more than 2 months. Why? Meri believes, and it's a logical conclusion, that Kody used Robyn's withheld signature as a bargaining chip. Something like, Meri, if you want Robyn to sign, you need to agree to our terms. Or even worse, sign this NDA and then she'll sign. Because with Cody and Robyn, there is always a missing piece, always a truth conveniently left out, always a private demand behind the scenes. And Meri is crystal clear. She wasn't the holdup. Robyn was. The big lie. Kody blaming Meri while Robyn was the one blocking the sale. The moment you map out the timeline, the manipulation becomes impossible to ignore. Meri's signatures? Filed immediately. Janelle's documents? Filed immediately. Kody's signature? Filed January 17th. The only missing piece, the only bottleneck, the only delay. Robyn's signature on March 26th. This wasn't a misunderstanding. This wasn't confusion. This was control. The illegal side deal Kody admitted to on camera. Janelle openly acknowledges the shady conversation. She and Kody discussed a backdoor deal selling the property out from under Meri and Robyn. Janelle says it herself. It couldn't legally happen. It was impossible. The paperwork simply didn't allow it. But the fact that Kody even floated the idea reveals everything you need to know. Manipulation is the default strategy. And he bragged about it as if he were some financial genius. Except, again, the truth is simple. Robyn was the only one holding the power. And she chose to stall the sale. Robyn's theatrics. There's been more effort put into hurting each other. Then Robyn sits in her confessional with her trademark quivering voice and watery eyes and says there's been more effort put into creating pain than into actually trying to make the relationships work. The irony here is so thick you could cut it with a shovel. All that energy she claims is being used to hurt each other. Maybe just maybe if she'd put that effort into signing her deed on time, stopping the manipulation, allowing transparency, not weaponizing her signature, not enabling Cody's temper, the family wouldn't be in this financial and emotional mess. But instead, she cries, wipes her nose, blames the other women, and shifts the narrative. Christine's book proved this years ago. Christine wrote plainly, Cody always takes the fall for Robyn. He covers for her. He protects her image. He absorbs blame for her actions. And this situation proves it perfectly. The delay, Robyn's fault. The stalled recording, Robyn's fault. The entire sale being pushed to April, Robyn's fault. But Cody turns around and blames Meri, Janelle, Jen, literally anyone but Robyn, because he always shields her. Always. The devil confession, and Robyn laughs. Robyn even admits in the episode that she knows Cody. Screams, lashes out, treats the women poorly, behaves maliciously, refers to himself as the devil. And what does she do? Laughs, giggles, brushes it off, and then blames the wives for hurting him. Hurting who exactly? They're not hurting Cody. They're leaving an abusive dynamic. They're walking away from a man who yelled, controlled, manipulated, and punished them for decades. And they're walking away from the woman who enabled him. Robyn's favorite lie. I don't say anything bad about the women. She claims in every episode, I never speak poorly about anyone. I'm not against the other wives. I don't do drama. Yet she constantly drops passive-aggressive bombs. They're hurting Cody. They're ruining the family. They're creating the pain. They don't care about us. They didn't put effort into the relationships. This is classic Robyn. She doesn't insult directly, she manipulates through implication. And now Meri sees that clearly. Why Meri can never trust Robyn again. Robyn is loyal to one person, Cody Brown. Not Meri, not Janelle, not Christine, not the kids, not the family unit they pretend to care about. And Meri knows exactly what that loyalty looks like, enabling Cody's screams, defending his cruelty, covering up his lies, participating in financial control, blocking the land sale, holding the final signature hostage, protecting the power she has as the legal wife. If Meri knows who Cody is, and she does, then she also knows what it means to trust the woman who stands beside him, defends him, and benefits from every choice he makes. Who's really being hurt? Not Cody and not Robyn. The wives are leaving because they were mistreated. They're demanding what's fair because they were exploited. They're dismantling a system that kept them financially trapped for years. Who's actually being harmed? Not the ones who held all the money. Not the ones who held all the land. Not the ones who controlled the signatures. Not the ones who diverted funds. The only people losing power right now are the ones who abused it, Cody and Robyn Brown. Robyn's manipulation exposed the truth about how she strung Meri along for years, who kept Meri hanging on emotionally, long after the marriage was dead. Robyn, who played the best friend, while quietly undermining her behind the scenes. Robyn, who promised loyalty, sisterhood, and unity, while helping Cody isolate Meri from the family. Robyn, she spent years manipulating Meri, softening her up, giving her crumbs of support, whispering, just hang in there, you belong here, all while aligning herself entirely with Cody's agenda. Robyn pretends she doesn't understand the damage. Robyn pretends she doesn't know why the wives are hurt. Robyn pretends this family fell apart mysteriously, but she doesn't need anyone to explain the destruction because she was part of creating it. The family is gone. There's nothing left to salvage. The foundation has crumbled. The trust is burned to ash, and all that remains is a trail of manipulation, favoritism, and emotional wreckage. Yet Robyn still plays the victim, the innocent damsel in distress who claims she's being bullied by the other wives. Please, this is the same woman who refuses to sign legal paperwork for months, uses passive-aggressive tactics behind the scenes, claims everyone else is hurting each other, says the wives didn't try hard enough, suggests the broken relationships are somehow equal in blame, protects Cody no matter how cruel, abusive, or explosive he becomes. And she does all of this while pretending she doesn't participate in the drama. The reality? Robyn knows exactly who Cody is, and she doesn't care. Any woman with healthy boundaries would run from a man who screams, manipulates, isolates, lies, and punishes everyone who won't bow to him. But Robyn? She supports it. She excuses it. She benefits from it. She thrives in it. If you co-sign the behavior of an abusive spouse, you're not a bystander, you're a participant. And that's exactly what we're seeing here. Robyn is furious the wives are finally telling the truth about her. She hates that Meri said she's only loyal to Cody. She hates that Christine exposed their secret dynamics in her book. She hates that Janelle and Meri are calling out the years of manipulation. She hates that the narrative is slipping out of her control. Because Robyn only knows how to function when she controls the story. And when she can't, she runs straight to victim mode. But the receipts don't lie. She held up the land sale. She stalled the deeds. She protected Cody's worst behavior. She manipulated the narrative. She kept Meri emotionally trapped. She enabled the destruction of the family. She benefited financially from everyone else's pain. She took money from Meri without remorse. The family isn't hurt because people left. The family is hurt because Cody and Robyn's control destroyed it. And Meri finally understands that trusting someone who is devoted only to Cody Brown is impossible because their loyalty is tied to power, money, and image, not love, honesty, or fairness. There's more coming, especially the explosive things Janelle has to say about Robyn, but that's where we'll pick up next. If you're watching this unfold, buckle up. The truth is only getting louder. Make sure you're subscribed. Hit the like button. Tap the bell so you don't miss the next breakdown because this story is far from over.